Clarkston, Michigan, the greatest city in the world. It's the Jose Aliaga Show. Jose Aliaga knows everyone. Get to know him as he interviews some of the most fascinating people from the greater Independence Township area. And now, broadcasting from the studios at Clarkston High School, the home of the state champion Wolves, here's Jose Aliaga.
Welcome to the Jose Aliaga Show. Today I have a special guest, a concerned parent and a friend of mine, my friend Patrick Rouse. How you doing, Patrick?
Good, Jose. How you doing today?
Very good, very good. I'm very happy to have you here because I remember the last time that we have an interview or I was on the TV set with you was in Lima, Peru.
That's right.
That was the other way around.
That's right. That's right. You were on our TV show down there where I oversaw the Channel 42. It was a great, great time, and I surely missed the people of Peru by all means. But that was great to have you on that show, and now you get to do the same thing for me. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome, my good friend. So tell me, my friend, you came today and you told me something is going on in education system in Michigan.
Yep. And
it's a lot of concerns. You're a concerned parent about what's happening with the Michigan Education Board.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's going on? What happened?
Well, in February 23rd of 2016, the state school board sent out a memorandum. In the short version of it, it's called the State and Guidance Memorandum on how to address or handle situations with the LGBTQ community, which would be lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning community. That was in response to a number of questions that came from school districts asking the state board how to handle these situations. So they drafted up together a board or a committee and then sent back out this memorandum. And then once that memorandum became available, the public was able to receive it. And there's a number of things in that memorandum that really are not going to help any situation. And that's what I'm trying to do, is help people understand what the memorandum is. I was speaking with even somebody here behind the scenes that here within the school system hadn't even heard of it. A lot of people haven't heard of it. And so I'm trying to get the message out about what it is. And then what are some of the problems with it, and how it's really not going to help students who identify in any of those categories.
So what does the memorandum say exactly?
Well, there's a couple of good things in the memorandum. I mean, for instance, bullying. I mean, who wants to be bullied?
Right.
Nobody wants to be bullied, and nobody should be bullying. I mean, we really have to make every attempt to treat people with the utmost respect and allow them to, grow and experience life on their own, and not force things as other people would say, you have to be this way. That's a great thing about our country, is we are an amazing group of people with a number of different backgrounds, a number of different experiences, such as yourself and mine, and we can say, how can we see those experiences and differences and work together? There's a number of good things in there, but there are a whole slew of other things that should be just removed from day one. Those areas or topics can be categorized in three major problems. The first problem is they're stating and encouraging teachers and staff and additional faculty within a school to hide and actually avoid conversation of any problems with the student to the parents, the legal guardians. Now, that's a serious problem. That's the first one. I can go into more detail about how they do that and how they're presenting it. The second one is that they're stating that the first thing they need to do to help a student who's having an identity crisis is to throw them into another bathroom of the opposite sex. That again is not going to help the student. What we're trying to do is help a student with this problem. And then thirdly, there's a legal aspect here. If you hide information, if you willingly hide information from a parent and something transpires with that student, there's legal ramifications that can be directed. So there's a number of things that we need to take out of there.
So I'm very concerned about that.
Yeah.
I mean, most people don't know about this. And when you called me, I was like, really? That's going on? And now, hold on. So number one, so basically the school will hide any issues to their parents about their kids. So if I have a kid that's coming to a public school, the school, the teachers, or the administrators won't tell me nothing about any issues about my kids if this pass.
Correct. So what happens
So
is...
how will that help?
Yeah, exactly. How would that help? That doesn't make
yeah.
logical sense. And that's the thing. We have to, this is a very serious issue. Now, and so I'm going to tell even the listeners out there, if you're listening to this program and you're asking this question, where do I stand on it? I am not pro one group or supporting their actions another. What we have to do is be mindful of the students that are in here and go, okay, how can we help every single solitary student? And what this is doing is actually going to hurt it. When somebody's, when somebody's going through these, identity crises. Let's take in the LGBTQ community. Let's take a transgender, for instance, right? This is now we're talking about students. We're talking about children of any age. These children are going through serious problems. They actually think somewhere down in their life they thought they were born with the wrong equipment. They were born in the wrong identity. They were born in the wrong body. They were born in the wrong way. Somehow or another, they've come to the understanding that they were a mistake. Why would we stop having involvement with the parents who are going to help that student through this transition and this crisis? That doesn't even make sense. The American Psychological Association says the first thing that any school should do is contact the parent when this comes up and say, how do we corral this student and help them? Because you know what? The Youth Suicide Prevention Program states 50% of all transgender youth will try to commit suicide. They will either succeed or attempt. This is a serious thing. I don't know about you, Jose. I know you. I know what you've been through, and I've gone through, and we've done some great things in Peru together. But I know this is a serious situation, and neither one of us want to see a child, no matter what they're dealing with, face a suicide attempt. We want them to really understand the meaning of life and the meaning of their life. We want to help them and see that they have something to give and offer and not to head down that way. So why would you want to exclude it? Page 5 of this memorandum, sections 1, 2, and 3 go into this detail. They state that at school they'll identify the student by whatever the student says without any medical direction nor parental involvement. And then when they talk to the parent, they will not address any of these things unless the student identifies that they should talk to their parents about it. So if the student says, no, I don't want to say anything to anybody, the teacher is then obligated to say, okay, I'm not going to talk to your legal guardian. The reason that they're a legal guardian is because they're a child.
Right.
And they need help by the legal guardian.
Right.
This doesn't even make logical sense.
No, it doesn't. And the board of schools is going to actually vote for this, right?
Correct. Some big dates that are available or that are coming up is April 12th. There's a state school board meeting, which and after I started talking about this, a whole slew of people are going with me to Lansing to discuss and give our comments about this. That's on April 12th, and their meetings are from 9:30 to 4. The public comment period is going to be about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I said that also on a radio spot that I was on, a radio show just this week that wanted to talk about the same issue. Then on May 10th, they're actually going to be voting on this to push it out to all the schools in the state. The bathroom one is another one.
Yeah.
That one's saying that, okay, if a child comes in and says, today, I am now identifying as the opposite sex, the school then has to permit them direct access to any bathroom of their choosing and any locker room. Again, this isn't saying, and this is where people get polarized, they say, well, I'm for this or I'm anti this. No, I need everybody to slow down for a second, look at this logically, and look at the child that is going through an identity crisis, that is now said they're a different gender. This is a serious issue. So if they're saying that, we need not to just throw them into the wind and say, well, it's because we want to give them access to everything. To me, that doesn't seem like the best we got. It seems like we need to stop and think, wow, this kid at some point thinks they were born with the wrong equipment. Why would I want to throw them into a locker room with a bunch of people who say they were born with the right equipment? Isn't that going to create the discrimination even more? Isn't this going to identify that they are different even more? We need to slow down, folks, and say, how can we help the student? Not just throw them into something that's going to make it more identifiable that they're different. Again, because they're going to ultimately end up in the same place. I was born wrong, so why should I continue my life? And they end up with 50% of them commit suicide. Now, going into the legal side, if a school board does this and they and they actually hold information back from a parent. Let's say it's a student comes in and says, I'm having difficulties with these things. I feel like I'm a girl and they're a boy. By actual legal birth, they're a boy, and they say, well, I think I'm a girl. And the student and the faculty doesn't tell the parents, and something happens to that student. Let's say they try to commit suicide. The school then is taking legal responsibility for that child. That a parent has a legal premise to go against that school and sue them until they can't sue anymore. The school board, the state school board, the faculty, all those involved, everyone involved has a legal premise now to go against the school system. That's the wrong way. The legal guardianship is in the parents' hands, and we need to leave it in the parents' hands.
Right, I believe that too. I believe it has been that way, and I don't think so. That reform, that change is going to improve. I think it's going to actually separate, even it's going to break more the relationship between family.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
I can't believe that the school board wants to pass something like that. And then, so you're saying that they're going to vote. If they approve it, that's it.
That's it. Well, they're saying it's a statement and guidance.
Okay.
So they're saying it's a response to the districts. However, I have spoken with 9 faculty members this past week, and all 9 of them say that went to the meeting by the school board.
Okay.
They were not given any indication that this was an option. This is step 1 to a mandate that the state school board is going to be passing through.
Okay.
So this is step 1, coming up with a mandate that will require every school to do it, not just in response to when they can do it. So this this isn't going to be something that we all vote on. None of us are getting to vote on this.
Right.
This is something that the school board has decided that they're going to make a decision on what's right for my child or your child or anyone else's child. That's what they're going to dictate. That's a scary place to be in.
It is. Do you know any other state that has been adopt this?
Well, there was recently a big struggle in Chicago where the school district said that we're not going to follow the direction of the Office of Civil Rights by the federal government. So this all translates back up to the federal government. In 1972, Title IX was passed, which said a woman and a man cannot be discriminated against. In 2014, under the Obama administration, the Office of Civil Rights decided to add the transgender component to that Title IX section, and then kicked out a memo to everyone that receives federal funding, including schools. It said, if you do not follow this rule, you will be excluded from federal funding. Now, the school district in Chicago, for them, that was a $9 million problem. The issue was hundreds and hundreds of students that disagree with this, because the LGBTQ community roughly represents about 8.4% of the overall governing body of the schools. The other 92% practically walked out of the Chicago school system, and they literally shut schools down. So the school district had no other response than say this. So the federal government made no qualms about it. They said, you're either going to do this or you're not going to receive the $9 million anymore. With the school district facing closing without receiving that funds, they did a behind closed doors meeting with the OCR and made an agreement with them to proceed based on what was good for the students there and what's good for the OCR. The problem there then is, if you take that same process over here to the state of Michigan, nowhere in there is it saying that you should remove the parents and not disclose any information. The Michigan State School Board came up with that idea on their own.
Wow, this is really scary what's going on in America.
It is very scary.
Most of the people don't know about this.
No, this was discussed behind closed doors. It's just now reaching media. I was on the radio station this week, and they said the same thing. This is something that wasn't publicized. Just now, this morning, the Oakland Press picked it up. The Detroit News picked it up 2 days ago. So it's just now starting to get out there, and it's late in the game. It's almost April, and this all came out in February.
Wow. Incredible. So with people that want to be involved in supporting you to be against this proposal, this memorandum that is going on, so how people can contact you?
They can go right to my I've created a Facebook page. It's called SBE, as in School Board of Education.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the link. There is a better way. I believe that there's a better way. And for those that are listening, want to get onto that community site, there's a petition that I've created because so many people wanted to become involved but aren't able to go to Lansing. There's also the state school board's education website. It's everyvoicecounts.michigan.org. They can go to that as well and give their public comment to whether they agree or disagree. Obviously, I just think that this is just the wrong way. There's a better way that we can reach every student within our schools and help them, especially those in the LGBTQ community.
Right, and I believe that too. And I would like, just for I want to support you. I want to actually sign a petition and go with you to Lansing.
Thank you.
Again, when is that going to be in Lansing?
April 12th.
April 12th.
It's a Tuesday in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week. So far, I've got a more than a carload. We got a few carloads going of people going, and we're going to speak on this matter and how we really think that there is just a better way. It's not we're anti this, and that's what happens, Jose. Is people really think that it's because I'm not supporting the memo that I don't support students in the school that categorize themselves in this category or think themselves in this category. And that's not the issue. I'm in the people business. I want to help every single person.
Right.
And so I just think that there's a better way than what we're doing here. And I think some of what they said is good. Hey, we should be educating our kids on how not to bully. If I can't, as a parent, I will say, I should be helping my kid. Hey, understand that there's differences, and if there's differences, don't make it out. Don't bully that kid. Don't, point to the kid and laugh or anything like that. Be mindful that they need to, and they deserve respect just like you do. And those are the things that I think we should stay focused in on, not these other things of ripping the parents out of the equation. That spells disaster in a number of ways.
It's true, Patrick. And I want to thank you for all you do, for spending your time, because I know you're taking time away from other things to help the community and bring awareness, And it's, to me, it's really sad to know that people try to take advantage of the system or try to play around and put other things that is not going to help our kids or nothing. It's, and it's sad, but it's good that you're coming here and bring awareness about this issue.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Appreciate that, and it's always nice to see you.
Thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, that was all for today, and please, I encourage you to see the website from Patrick Rouse. It's right there. The website is www. There is a better way, and then please contact Patrick, and it's very important. It's April 12th in Lansing, and it's very important to see more our support, our parents and our community. And if you want to be on the Jose Aliaga Show, you can contact us on the Jose Aliaga Show Facebook page. You go to the Jose Aliaga Show, and then you can follow us, and then you can write me if you want to be at the show. Or also you can call me at 248-736-7163. That was all for today. Thank you so much, and God bless you.